Alright, let's get this show on the road. After a 2-week hiatus with OFCRA, we're finally back and kicking. So, we've got an interesting operation for you guys today. It's going to be the first Indochina war with the French forces on Blue 4, Op 4 having the Viet Minh. Blue 4 going to be the attackers here, Op 4 on defense. If you've followed my channel, you would recognize this AO as one we did in TSB. I want to say 2 months ago, give or take. Especially with the Citadel area being the starting point for that operation, but we did a massive defense op in this AO. But I think they've, custom built up some areas as well, especially the north and south. But we'll have a look when we get in here. Op 4 going to be spawning up in this location next to their second ammo cache. Blue 4 spawning all the way down here, and they're going to have quite a few kilometers to drive in with. We'll take a look at their vehicles. We also have some Op 4 spawning in the back line here to bring in some vehicles as well. But Blue 4 I might call the French forces, Op 4 I might call the Viet Minh. First Indochina War, for those of you who don't know, it's the war that was before the Vietnam War. It was the first battles within Vietnam because Vietnam was like a French colony. So this is how the Vietnamese kind of got their independence. And then they split to North and South and, Communist North, Democratic South, the whole Vietnam War, yada-da. But this is the first Indochina War. So we'll see how things go. Otherwise, point deduction-wise, this is going to be a fairly simple operation designed to be a bit more of a simplistic op compared to other OFCRA ops we've seen, but we'll see how this one goes in particular. So, the overall objective, the one worth the most points, is this Citadel area. Whoever has more forces in this purple zone by the end of the match, which is 90 minutes, is going to gain 4 points. Now, there's 2 other ammo caches, one worth 2 points and one... Okay, no, they're both worth 2 points. I thought it said that one was worth 1 point and one was only worth 2 points, but they're both worth 2 points. All right. So if Op 4 is able to defend these ammo caches by the end of the round, they gain 2 points per cache. If Blue 4 is able to destroy those caches, they gain 2 points per cache. And then there's the Supremacy bonus, which if you let me tab out here, that is going to be worth 2 points each. Yeah, so in the document, they say the first ammo cache is only worth 1 point, but on the map, they're saying if it's, that it's worth 2 points there. So we'll see how things go. But otherwise, it says they're both worth 2 points on the map, so we'll just have to take it as 2 points. But hey, for prediction's sake, I mean, we'll wait till we see the end document to see it, but I'm going to base it off of, it says 2 points and 2 points. And then, of course, the Supremacy bonus is also worth 2 points to break down what that means. If Op 4 is able to eliminate all but 5 or fewer Blue 4 guys remaining, let me try that again. Let's say Blue 4 gets knocked down to 5 players or less, Op 4 gets 2 points. If Op 4 gets knocked down to 5 players or less, Blue 4 gets 2 points. So the total amount of points either side can score is 8. 2 from each of the 2 caches. Actually, no, 10 technically. It's 10. 4 from the Citadel. That's 8 total, and then 2 for the Supremacy bonus. So whoever's able to maintain both ammo caches, those 4 points are going to be important. If Blue 4 gets 1 ammo cache and holds the Citadel, they'll probably win. But if Op 4 is able to hold the Citadel and at least one of the ammo caches, they'll probably win. But we'll see if either side's able to score that Supremacy bonus. And we'll also see if there's any early on advantages here given to either side. I'm going to quickly tab out, look over at any vehicle lists that I can see. Looks like Blue 4 is going to be getting access to a lot of half-tracks here. I'm seeing some Jeeps unarmed and medical, some transport trucks, and a Jeep with a 1919 A6, so Browning 30 cal. Op 4, the reinforcements coming in are going to be ZIS-3 trucks with Maxin machine guns on them. All right. So a lot of heavy firepower on Blue 4 with those 50 cals. Op 4 is going to have a few Maxin machine guns, which I believe are only 7.62 or maybe 7.92. I'd have to look into, I think 792 is German, so it would be 762 by 54 potentially, but we'll look into that. Otherwise, looking at the weapon breakdown, Blue 4 are going to be getting a lot of Mass 36 and Mass 39 rifles, the French rifles at the time, semi-auto and bolt action, I believe, as well as what appears to be some bars, Browning automatic rifles, a few Mat 39 submachine guns for the leadership elements, some M1 carbines as well to fill in the gaps. And then FM24s as well for some of these squads, where Op4 is going to mainly be getting Mosins. I'm seeing some PPSHs, some SVT40s, and that, oh, wow, and some Car 98s as well. That's, don't expect to see much of that, but mainly bolt actions. We've also seen some DP29 machine guns, but otherwise a pretty fair weapon loadout balance for everyone. A lot of bolt action fighting, though, so that means it's going to be a little less likely for either side's, really good players on either side to do anything spectacular. Because, one guy with a bolt action, he's only going to be able to eliminate so many targets at once. But we have some submachine guns in play. We have some machine guns at play. Some semi-automatic rifles. So we're just going to have to see how things go. But in terms of this AO specifically, it is pretty cut and dry. You have a little bit of a hill around this citadel, a bit of a rock layer right here, some rock positions here as well, but there are some gaps, especially on the northern side. But if Blue 4 wanted to, they could, in this road, I mean, they also have the option to go super far around and possibly ride the northern side to get around. And there is a 90-minute round to this operation, so we might see a lot of that first 30 minutes be spent on maneuvering. But how I like to break down OFCRA rounds is the first 30 minutes is your early game. Usually you see a lot of maneuvering being done at that point, not a lot of combat, if any. Next 30 minutes is mid-game, where you start seeing outside objectives being engaged. So I think the ammo caches will start, at the very least by then, starts feeling pressure. And then late game, the last 30 minutes are usually where all the neutral capture objectives start coming into play. Sometimes by the end of mid-game, the last 30 minutes are a little boring because you already see the side that's coming out on top. But also it can be when one side can get really desperate and the tides can turn. But usually we'll see how this game will play out by mid-game. But, I mean, I don't think Blue 4 is going to take the direct route there. They're either going to immediately divert off to the right, or they're going to go up this road, cross over here, use this pass, cross over here. This is all open area. Then they can attack the northern cache, because this citadel is going to be a lot easier to hit from the south and the north. We might also see a force split. There's a really good chunk of forests here that Blue 4 can put forces in. But if Blue 4 isn't able to really lock down routes for their half tracks to support the infantry as they come in, I think Op 4 is going to have a nice defensive advantage, as this is some very CQC heavy area here. So Op 4, I mean, they're kind of stuck because they have to defend 3 different objectives. So we'll probably see a force here, and then maybe some internal forces and a small one here. Usually in the past with neutral objectives, you'll see a lot of forces covering the first 2, but because there's this big open flank area to the side, it could be really easy for Blue 4 to take these wide drives here and come around. I mean, Blue 4, this route's probably going to take them 20 minutes to get around, whereas this one probably up to 15 to 20. More around 15. It depends how much of a detour they want to take, but at the same time, I'm wondering if Op 4 is going to try to predict this and send up interdicting forces on the roads with their Maxins, because they just can come down the road immediately.
Mais je sais pas s'ils sont libres. Ah bah.
So that was the sound of everyone getting connected into the TFAR channel at the same time. My TeamSpeak's actually having a little bit of a crash issue right now. Hopefully it'll recover, but I still hear people's voices, so that is a good sign. But otherwise, you got Op 4 deployed right here. Oh, great. And they're playing funny music here. Fog effect is a little low there, but here we go. That's the AO. Op 4, they've got some forces up here as well. Just resetting my team speak there. All right, cool, because I like to be able to come in and hear the local forces. But yeah, these open areas are massive in terms of transport. But here you go, you got your map 49s, and then your 36s, which are bolt action. There's a bar right there, Browning automatic rifle. Yeah, you can see the bolt right there. There's a 1919 A6, there's a carbine there. I'm trying to also see if there's any AT. I feel like there might be a little bit of AT in play, but there also, you know, just might be half tracks and whatnot. But here's a good weapon lineup of all the weaponry here. So a lot of mass 36s. I saw some 39s in as well, which I believe are the semi-automatic rifles of the French, but otherwise this is what we're mainly seeing. That's another Browning automatic rifle. What was that? Ah, that's the FM, which it's basically like a you know, the British version's got the top magazine with the side mount rail. You got some marksman rifles there as well. He's got a fancy hat on. Commanding force, I believe he's also going to have a MAT 49. But yeah, good amount of forces here, but a lot of bolt action play. Alright. Otherwise, looking at their vehicles here, we have a medical Jeep, a transport Jeep, 3 half-track 50 cals, 4 transport trucks, a 1919 A6 Browning 30 cal on a Jeep, and then another transport Jeep back there. Looking up at the northern side, we have all of these up 4 forces here just as infantry. We're seeing some Mosins with some PU scopes on them. We see some SVT semi-automatic rifles, PPSHs. Both stick mags and drum mags for the PPSHs. I think that's helping to distinguish rank, but I'm seeing a lot more stick mags down. There's a DP system there. Otherwise, all the infantry are gathering around here, probably making a plan, but a lot of bolt action play. There's another drum mag there. And then some radios. Op Force QRF mainly is going... Oh, wow. They did... Okay. They, No, okay, no. So they're loading the Maxins in the truck, but they also have access to some anti-tank guns. Okay. That is a bit of an interesting turn. I didn't notice that on the document, so that'll be towed. Otherwise, they're loading things up. They've also broken the turrets into multiple pieces so they can load them up quicker. Because I understand that sometimes you load the turret and then you unload the turret and it breaks it, so it's better just to load it in as an inventory piece. But let's go ahead and look at our roster here, then we'll look at our AOs. So, Op4 has Demovar, Parthius, and Block, 3 good players with an OFCRA. We got Kilo, Cheeseburger, Smiths, and Licardo. He's a new name. Demas, I'm not going to try to pronounce that. Grubby, Polish, Pepe, SZ, Roberts, Kaluki, and Nico, Yurizato, Wombat, Despo, Vexen, and Seasgill, Ivno, Kerrigan, Mark, Rigel, Doritos, Factor of the House Logic, Bob Winchester, Shay, Roy DeCamper, Nubas, Lemur, NASA Swola, Gucci, Something Juan, Zion Musk, Jean Zion, Hyping, Who's Who, and Don Tutron. I think that's meant to be like a choke on Donald Trump, but okay. So, yeah, these guys have clearly changed their names to reflect their Indochina side, which I find quite funny. Here's one of the caches, by the way, that needs to be demoed. And then we have Popsy, Bardic, Yuda, Andre, Games Kropa, Lysiak, and Lama. Over on the Green 4 side, which is funny because they were listed as Blue 4, but now they're Green 4, but that's okay. It's probably because of the vehicle use and whatnot, because they're technically Green 4 Vix if they're pulling from IFA. Mission has officially started, by the way. We have Nannard, Elonia, Coz, Oliver Jr., Ethan, Lone, Evan, Pierre, Kevsko, Alan, Sataniel, and Lewis. We also have Pogo _ great player there. Shadow, Cali, Ezio, Strele, Ronald, Shuanda, Benares, and Barros. We have TK Lama from MOR. I could have sworn he's also in Coalition, but I might be wrong. Ilvanek, Ziki. Wait. There's 2 Zickies. Oh, God. Why are there 2 Zickies? He might just be an AI that glitched out, and now he had to reconnect to the server. But yeah, it looks like they're running on foot right here as AI. So we're gonna have some AI in here. It's not a PvP, it's a PvE plus PvP. Or no, a P plus E versus P plus E. But that's only if OFCRA has AI as well. Those are just glitched out units there. Otherwise, we have Ilbanek. I already mentioned them. So Seal William, Joda, and Ziki 2, Electric Boogaloo. We have Mr. White, Zartek, Razka, Flip for Flap, Masquerade. No, it's Mac. I'm gonna call him Mac. I'm sorry. Jonathan, Rizbo, and Tackle. You got Magiosaurus, Thomas, Snicker, and Lewis. Another Lewis. Okay, Adamek, Montana, Settler, Damex, Val, Kratz, and Kuwait's. Without the U, and then Panzer, PHK, Murdy, Coffee, Shadow, and Fleesh. So a lot of those names are, I consider, very good players in OFCRA. There's a big mix of the group, but that's a-okay. Regardless, we're seeing Green 4 just coming up the MSR here with all their forces. There's a left turn up here. We'll see if they take it. Otherwise, OPFOR is starting to deploy across everything. You have the Citadel area, which has a nice trench perimeter. I think they added this and the barbed wire here because this trench perimeter otherwise isn't there. And then we have just a lot of things folded into this area. And then a French helicopter here, interestingly enough. Otherwise, they're deploying everything. We got some more French vehicles here. So it looks like just the Indochinans taking this base and the French are trying to take it back. Otherwise, you have the city area here as well. Not really a city, village area would be a better term. And then you have Cache 1, which appears to be in this little building. They put some barbed wire around it. And OPFOR are basically deploying forces along the MSRs here. And you have the trucks blitzing in with the tows. Oh, that's beautiful. I'm assuming the other one also has the other gun being towed. Yes, it does. And that is all their forces coming in. So they're already almost in this area. You're seeing OPFOR dividing their forces across various areas here. That's going to really spread them thin, though. Might create a few gaps for Green 4 to take advantage to getting inside, especially if this is an opening. I mean, if they take that left turn like I'm predicting, if they took that route, they can easily get in. But since this is going to be a quicker route, we'll probably see some early game action, probably in the 20 or potentially 30-minute mark, just as we start to mid-game. But we're about to see what turn they take, and this is probably going to decide the match here. We'll probably see a pincer movement, in all honesty. Left turn. Left turn. Now, is the pincer going to be on these roads? Yeah. Left turn. No. Okay. So by doing this as a pincer movement here, they're going to be putting a lot of pressure on Cache 1. We've got one OPFOR squad already starting to head south here. A little bit of an OPFOR group coming around on the other side as well. But OPFOR is going to be at a pretty significant disadvantage here, and I'll explain why in a second. I'm going to go ahead and mute myself locally in TeamSpeak, because once you hear people die, they get put in the same talking channel as you when you're in the spectator slot for TFAR, and it can be a bit annoying to be casting live, and all of a sudden you hear someone cussing in their native language because they got killed. But with this, we're seeing one of the half tracks already going forward. I thought I saw vehicles driving into the forest here, but it looks like they did that on purpose because they're trying to remake a formation here. But Green 4 is already going to be going in right into this AO, but OPFOR stretched thin because they have a lot of forces guarding the northern side as well, because they predicted Green 4 possibly coming around like this and trying to go through that open area, so they're setting up defenses there. They got a big chunk of forces down at the cache. So if Green 4 plays their cards right and just has these two forces stick close to each other, they can easily just overpower anything that's there. And right off the bat, we have the first death here. That was Yutka, caught in the open by that Browning 50 cal on that half track. You got Andre trying to serpentine away. He takes a shot, but otherwise is still alive. This force has now been divided into two. Caught in a pretty tough area here because it's a really bad slope hill. You got Andre taking more fire from that 50 cal as he's trying to loop around. You're hearing these Mosins starting to go off. And they're already taking fire. Really tough place to be in, but Bartek, he scored a kill. And that happened to be on Zicky. Wow. Zicky was on that 50 cal. Zicky, you almost never see dead within the first few minutes of the round's combat beginning. So that's a pretty heavy blow, because I would consider him one of, if not the best player with an OFCRA. That's like taking Bay out in a Friday Night Fights round early on. So that's pretty interesting. Otherwise, Green 4, they've started dismounting here. That 50 cal no longer in use. Could still be operational. Ilvanex pushed way up here. Already in the rocky areas. I mean, he's the medic, though. So why is he that far up, you know? I never like seeing PvP medics all the way in the front, because when you're a medic in PvP, you are really important, because if anyone goes down, it's your job to get them back up, and those extra numbers that you're able to, you know, bring back from the grave can make all the difference. Now, here's the interesting part. We have OP4 on the other side. They're starting to cross forward. They set up the pack gun, which I believe is a ZIS, is the equivalent name, but they're starting to send the infantry over here. Green 4 has to be careful, because if they start crossing and Op 4 comes around, they could potentially catch this Green 4 group out in the open and completely take him out. Echo's already going to charge through, though. You're starting to hear that? Nope. I thought I was hearing the truck, but I am starting to hear the truck now. It's the half-track pushing up with them. But this is a massive kill zone that Op 4 is making, especially with these entrenchments here. And now you're seeing that truck starting to blitz by. No one on that pack gun, because the pack gun turned away. So they're not going to be able to get a snipe on that truck. Hold up. He's turning it. Demovar might be able to get a shot. He's trying to line it up. And the shot's low and left. They did not have that ranged up properly, and that truck's now going to be able to get right into this AO. He might still have a sight line on it, though. Oh, he's going to drive right into the pack gun's line of fire, but there's a little bit of defilade cover for him to work with, actually. So I think he saw that defilade cover and decided to drive down in it, but he's got to be careful, because now he's starting to drive into a kill zone. So now these forces are dismounting here. They need to quickly grab cover or pop smoke or do something. I'm not even sure if they have smoke grenades at this point, but they're starting to take fire from the north here. I believe that's an SVT firing at him. Just that fire rate's a little too high for it to be a Mosin. Yep. That was a Mosin. I heard the bolt. So these guys, they just had a casualty there. Don't know who went down. Now they're taking fire from a PPSH. Oh, wait, no, it wasn't a casualty. It's someone that folded back. And now they're firing in a different direction, because I think they're a little confused on where they're being engaged from. Looking back, this Op 4 group's come around. That Green 4 group's still holding. And now you got these two groups, Green 4 and Blue 4, right on top of Green 4 and Op 4 right on top of each other. Really thick grass to work with, though. Oh, God. That is one of the Mass 39s. Barrows taking a -1. Interesting. So I think Barrows potentially friendly fire to maybe Green 4 and Op 4 are set to friendly. And each kill's a team kill. It's hard to tell, but grenades going off, taking out some Op 4 players here. Or at least doing a significant chunk of damage. Now you're seeing Op 4 Battalion. I think he just has the friendly fire kills. Barrows. Maybe he killed some friendly AI in the beginning, but he's up to -2. Shkuda's up to -2. I mean, that's really interesting. We got Callie down over here as well. Lewis and Nicker are down up here because they've been putting pressure on that small Op 4 group. But this left flank is not going to be too successful at this rate, because they're outnumbered, and there's a lot more Op 4 here. They got a pack gun set up, that ZIS system. You got another Green 4 group coming around over here. I'm just going to start calling them the French and the Indo-Chinese, because I'm confusing Blue 4 with Green 4. But then we have another Green 4 group all the way back here that's going to try to attack wide. So with the French forces separating themselves like this, that's just going to play into the Indo-Chinese, the Viet Minh's position, because of the Indochina War, that's my bad. The Viet Minh's positions in terms of their spread out defenses to catch all these sporadic groups, but at the end, this is just going to fall to the PvP. So you got Pogo underscore really utilizing his submachine gun here to run right up. Doesn't get the kill. He finds this Op 4 guy trying to crawl away and takes him out. Oh, that's brutal. I appreciate the Viet Minh forces here trying to use this tall grass to their advantage. The bit rate must be hell on this stream, by the way. I do apologize. It's tall grass that really screws with it. But because they've heightened the grass a bit, it does allow for any force to try to crawl away. But if you have someone like Pogo underscore with the submachine gun charging you, you're kind of screwed at that point. So he's spotted the rest of these forces down here. I'm going to look at his first-person POV. He's just spraying at what he can see. Quickly goes down in the dirt, does a quick reload. Tries crawling around. He sees that one unit right there. Tries to line up on him. Adjusts his sight line a little bit. Fires some shots that way. But this SMG is also fairly quiet. Gets a kill. He's just suppressing where he can in this Viet Minh force. He just sees that little movement right there. Fires in the direction. I mean, he's doing a great job of sighting. OPFOR's best chance is to send something around to flank him. He sees that crawling around right there as well. Knocks him out. Puts some shots to double tap, and now he is maneuvering around. I mean, this is some great play here by Pogo underscore. Again, really good player. I hope he doesn't get tunnel vision on that guy because he's got some more stuff to his left. Runs right around a Viet Minh player here. The shot misses by the bolt action. Point blank, Pogo underscore takes him out. But now he's fighting another submachine gunner here. He runs out of ammo from his stick mag. And he takes him out, and then Pogo goes down by a machine gunner up here. No, another PPSH gunner. But wow. At least 3 confirmed kills, 2 knockouts. I mean, that was a great play by that submachine gunner there. You got some long-range fire from this Green 4 group coming over the open field here. That's at least 600 or 700 meters worth of territory. You only have this character here, Magical Saurus, who survived out of that 4-man group. Now, this group is being suppressed, but we need to see more submachine gunner plays like that, and Green 4 will be able to pretty much clean this AO out. But looking at the surviving members here, Green 4 has above Foxtrot that many forces, and then below Foxtrot, so a full page up to Foxtrot, and then another 2 squads in a team, whereas OPFOR, starting at Zulu, goes to Tango, and then Uniform. So Green 4 started with a few more forces here, but looking at the unit divide, casualties seem a little even right now, if not slightly more on OPFOR. That's only counting the skulls, though, not the people that are knocked unconscious. Once again, though, OPFOR's getting a little confused on where they're getting shot from. Actually, no, it was Green 4 that did that first right here. But this long-range fight, there's not going to be a lot done because it's just machine guns firing at each other from range. Looks like, though, we have OPFOR trying to repeat what Pogo underscore did. It is now Roy DeCamper coming up to where the Green 4 forces are around here. But now Green 4 outnumbers the remaining OPFOR group because they're down to 2 players. One of them bled out. The other one, I think they patched up the best they could. But Green 4 also has all these forces over here. They're very badly splintered off right now. So it's really just coming down to individual instinct and PvP at this rate. But this Green 4 group's going to be pretty much ineffective. I assume they're going to pull back, go north, and come around to that northern cache, as this group is probably already going to get a stab at it, but that's pretty heavily fortified. OPFOR, I'm thinking, is still a little too widely fortified, or excuse me, how would I put it? They're still too widely spaced out in their defensive lines to really do much, but it's a really messy defense. I get why OPFOR did this strategy, though, because whoever is the commander for the French forces has clearly gone for just keeping a lot of their forces autonomous and not really in good positions to support each other. You know, forces charging ahead of others, just really relying on a squad-on-squad fight. Whereas a unified push of forces would have been able to steamroll the spaced-out OPFOR forces. It's just a really interesting strategy we're seeing here, as this is boiling down to just a lot of individual fights. We also have a runner, I guess, from this Green 4 group coming back. Or he got lost. And then we still have just some large forces outside of the AO, on the French side, waiting to come in. But let's see, we had a 5-minute safe start, so we're still halfway in early game right now. Only 15 minutes of the round have passed. But there's just a lot of fire going back and forth at this rate. So we're seeing OPFOR doing some suppression over here. That might be a miss PID, though. I see that Roy DeCamper isn't... Oh, you know, he did run back. Okay. So maybe these guys don't have a long-range radio with them, though, so they don't have any contact with that Zulu force. But another thing I'm noticing right off the bat is look at the camo difference. The French forces actually have a little bit of camo to work with here, but the Viet Minh forces dressed up all in white like this, they stick out like sore thumbs, and that's how Pogo Underscore was able to get so many kills right there and pretty much shoot at him as they pass through his line of sight while he hid in the tall grass with that really quiet submachine gun. I don't know. Looking at here, we've got this OPFOR force trying to come around the southern side. Green 4 is making a push in, though. I don't think OPFOR, well, they might be able to get up into a position to challenge this central group right here. I believe these guys are overwatching. Looks like they had another casualty right there that they took out. Had to deal with. But this is really dangerous for OPFOR, and as I say that, they start taking fire. Some hits on Bartel here, who's already gotten 2 kills with a iron-sighted Mosin. They're coming under fire. The rest of that group's getting suppressed. But see, this is really dangerous now for this OPFOR group because this group can now come in and immediately flank them. And we already see someone trying to pick him off from the flank there. He's slapping on a bandage. I couldn't tell if that force was shooting at him, though. I'm trying to see. Yeah, so Leziak got killed in that barrage of fire there. But right now, the French Green 4 forces seem to be outdoing OPFOR only slightly, though. It's still too early to tell who the winner's going to be, but with the Viet Minh forces constantly trying to counterattack, I think they're suffering a little too heavy in terms of losses compared to what they're actually gaining by performing these counterattacks. They're trying, though, don't get me wrong. But I always find it interesting when you have this level of fighting going on, where the defenders are trying to counterattack, but they're suffering more losses in the counterattacks that are, you know, actually fruitful in the round overall. We just had a round go wide as hell right there. Bartek taking more fire, but he's on his 3rd kill here. He just killed that member of Hotel on the left side. Green 4 desperately trying to push forces down to take him out. He takes another hit, and there's a... Oh, I thought that was a headshot, but that only knocked him out. Had to have been a shoulder hit there or something. But 3 kills for Bartek for a bolt action. I mean, that's pretty good, especially considering the ranges he's been engaging at. So picking off those really good players early on is really going to help Green 4 in the long run. We could still technically see him wake back up, but look at these hits. I mean, that's at least 1, 2, 3 bullets, 4 bullets, 5 bullets, and that was the 6th. But usually with bolt-action rifles and little to no body armor, once you get knocked out, unless you receive immediate medical assistance, you're pretty much screwed. I do find it interesting, though. We got Kropa here trying to flank around to hit that Overwatch element. But yeah, that Green 4 force, the central force crossed in, the front force held, and now they're just going to sweep around. OPFOR is going to desperately try to pull forces around, but that might be it. We already see the suppressive groups, the 3 remaining firing up here. They're taking some return fire. So they're bipoding off of the Jeep there. Otherwise, looks like those OPFOR guys cross back as we see the Romeo element with the Zulu element. You've got some Green 4 guys. They're now down to 3 dudes right here. They had, I think, 5 or 6. But one of them just got knocked out, and now he's being dragged back, but they were engaging this small group, which just picked one of them off. I'm not sure if they have a sniper, but they do have an SVT gunner. And they have a submachine gunner ranging for him. And then Zara is here. He's just been kind of running around the back line, not really doing much. We have some other Green 4 forces starting to come around here as well. Now we got this Green 4 force hunting that 2-man Op4 team, and then Kropa here might get a flank. He only has a bolt action, though, so I'm not sure how well that play is going to go. Meanwhile, as I predicted, Green 4 pulled back, went around north, and are coming around. Op4 is pulling that force back, maybe to set up a secondary blocking line, predicting that Green 4 that was engaging that force is coming around like this. So they might try to set up on the edge of the tree line, preferably on this edge, or they might just come back to reinforce that one position. Whereas this Green 4 force also doing a wide flank might be able to get regroup with this force, or maybe do a flanking attack where they harass the north and the western sides of this AO. But where this force deploys itself might make a critical difference. Looking at numbers here, it's still, I would say, favoring Op4 slightly, and I mean, we just got a great headshot there by Kropa. I thought he hit the guy next to the Jeep, but actually I'm struggling to find the body. Ah, it was back behind the tree, and these guys are none the wiser. You can see him right up there, that little bit of white. He might be able to successfully pick off these 2 remaining troops. I don't think he knows just how many guys are down there, though. He's hiding in a bush right now, trying to see how they'll react. Green 4, meanwhile, just missing these 2 Op4 guys as they come around. But again, it's all going to come down to who have the better individual players to do these guerrilla war style operations and get in really close to the enemy and take them out. And those, in my opinion, are always the most fun to watch. Ooh. If someone just went down, you never want to run right up to their body, because that body's a kill zone. What did you just throw? What did... I hope that's a smoke. Okay, I was about to say, like, I really hope you didn't just frag yourself. All right. I'm waiting for it. I'm waiting for it. He's throwing more smoke. Where's that shot? Is he falling back? Yeah, he's flanking around. All right. I guess he saw that situation. I guess didn't want to deal with it, but... Oh, nope, here it is. Here it is. Right in the back. There it is. Oh! Hillary Clinton, one shot to the back of the head. Nope, it hit his back because he's unconscious. All right, I thought it was a knockout, but beautiful. And now you got this third guy running around. He heard that gunshot. What do you got? Oh, he's got a semi-automatic, though. The MAS 39. He might be able to catch games Kropa here with his pants down, but he heard that shot. Now he's going to go for it because he's realized his buddies are down. Kropa doesn't know that he's being hunted right now, though. He could potentially get flanked. Maybe he'd have reaction time to hit Shadow here, but... Shadow's got that semi-automatic. Meanwhile, over across the way, you got 2 Op4 guys, a submachine gunner and a machine gunner pushing TK Llama, Seal, and Joda here. Shots were a miss right there. Let's quickly look over to this fight here. Green 4 have some good concealment here, but they're doing their best. They're fighting a machine gunner and a submachine gunner. DP-25, and I'd assume a PPSH. Yep. One of them gets knocked out by grenades. Submachine gunner doing his best to spray, isn't able to land a shot. Some of those bullets getting clipped in the tree. Kropa running north. Shadow slowly hunting him. This Green 4 force now coming up from the south here. Llama pushing. He would have a submachine gun to do it. No, he's not. Okay. Oh, but he might catch uniform here. Isn't able to land the shots. He just wasn't leading enough. Pop a nade and pop a reload if you can, buddy. Andre pushing. The other guy got killed off. He quickly folds around. I mean, yeah, that submachine gun's really quiet. Green 4 going to reinforce this group. Just a matter of how many kills can Op4 get before they're either overwhelmed or they're forced to pull back. Meanwhile, Green 4, they're dismounting more forces over here. That DP-27 gunner taking some fire. No clear winner there. So now you see Llama pushing away. Quickly gets behind a tree. You're hearing one of those pack guns firing off. Ooh. They've built this fortification right here. They also have the Maxit. And they're firing over at this Green 4 group that started crossing. Maxon isn't looking to the right to see these guys. It's just going to start suppressing into the forest. He works out, I guess. Don't ask me how he got up there. Backgun trying to look through the forest here. This Green 4 group has a little bit of defilade to work with. They're staying low. Oh, man, just everywhere. But, oh, we got this other Green 4 group that could successfully come in and hit that force from the rear. It's just, can this Green 4 group hold? They just had one of their guys knocked unconscious. They're desperately trying to get across as this one guy's taking more fire. It's going to take these guys at least another 4 minutes to get behind this force. But are they going to push and try to attack them from the rear as well? It's a tough call. A lot of little skirmishes going on. You got Andre now alone. Seal went down. Ilbanek is down, but TK Lam was able to get that other submachine gunner. But we'll see what Andre's capable of doing. He is up 1 kill with that DP. Shadow and Kropa still running around up there. We got a Green 4 force back here. You got a small Green 4 spearhead there. But just looking at the numbers here, this is it. Op4 is now folded back on their objective positions. It's starting to lean into Op4's favor, believe it or not. Number-wise, that could quickly turn around. Kropa getting killed off by Shadow. And that's one less thorn they have to deal with. And Rizbo, I just saw his character flash. He got Andre there. Okay. So Green 4, now that they're starting to unify their forces, this could be an issue for Op4 because they still only have some very small defensive forces around these areas. If we see Foxtrot dominate this Zulu and Romeo position, that could be the tide turn here because then that force can regroup with this group, harass this one. I don't know who's going to win this fight personally. If Green 4 reinforces that group, then I think it would be leaning to Green 4, but Op4 with that defensive advantage. But this force all regrouping and pushing north to south, if they just take one ammo cache and then the Citadel, it won't matter much. God, I love the knee crawl animation with it where he just pushes on it, man. That always slays me. All right, otherwise, Green 4 pushing around from the north. Oh, Op4 hasn't moved. I mean, if Green 4 isn't on yelling and stuff, they get right behind this position and just take everyone out. Op4 caught in the open like this, the best they can do is then get behind the other side of their trenches, but have no sight lines. And then Green 4 can just come around the flanks and take them out. I mean, this is going to be a brutal, brutal slaughter, in my opinion. Now, the issue is this, if this Green 4 group pushes in on their own without reinforcements, I think they're going to get slaughtered as well, but at least it'll be a more direct confrontation. This one, though, this is going to be the messy one. Green 4 already getting into a battle line. They know that there's an Op4 position here. Oh, this is going to get messy. We got a 1919 A6 with Green 4 as well. Submachine gunner there. Kratz up in front with a bolt action. You'd want the machine gun to open up first, because otherwise all of these Op4 guys are going to turn around. Basically, you want the submachine gunner in the 1919 A6 to engage first, and the bolt actions to not engage. Instead, be ready to pick people off. Royd's spidey senses are tingling. Uh-oh. There's the submachine gun leading. And immediately, Royd coming around on the rear, though, hearing those gunshots. Might have just helped stop that flank, but look at those casualties immediately. You still have this guy back here. That's Nubas. Oh, poor Nubas. He's about to get flanked, though, by Settler. He's got a semi-auto M1 carbine. Grenade being thrown all the way down here. Royd doing a wide flank, taking suppressive fire. Another Op4 guy. Parthius wakes up with that SVT. Nubas coming around, but not enough. Starts taking panic shots by Settler, who eventually gets the kill. Oh, so Green 4 taking a few here. You have Demovar, who's woken up with that scoped PU Mosin. Royd might come around, but now you've got some shooting down to the south. More suppressive fire, and Settler getting his second kill. Might come up on this guy. He's going to spot Montana there. And Settler folds in as well. Green 4 staying low here. as Royd comes around. Trying to check on what's going on. Might get these guys on the rear here. Doesn't check his far left immediately. There we go. There's one submachine gun shot. He's going to crawl right into this group, and he gets taken out just before he can get the finishing shot on Kratz. We just heard some level of heavy explosive use. It might have been this anti-tank gun firing down at the infantry here. That's going to be messy. But let's see. We still have Demovar here bandaging. I mean, a scoped PU Mosin to fire at Green 4 as they pull away could be an interesting turn of events. We have Adamek trying to bandage this fallen squad leader. He wasn't a squad leader. Fallen French force there, but he was taken out. He just died. You saw that ragdoll effect happen. But that was a pretty clean turnaround. We still have guys patrolling around. I mean, Demovar, he took a lot of hits there. He just finished bandaging. You got another HE shell being fired down. People are bandaging right now. They have a wounded guy. You hear it firing on the rocks. That is just messy. But Demovar now pulling back. Could now come around from the northern side, start picking people off with that scoped Mosin. Meanwhile, looking down to the south, Green Force starting to regroup everything here. Hold on. Friendly fire. Adamek taking out a friendly there on accident. He's dead. That's quite unfortunate. That was Montana's battle buddy. And he puts his weapon away. That was Settler, too, the guy that did that amazing flank and took out two of them. Meanwhile, you've got Demovar here, still alive. He's going to be checking his friends for maybe a better gun. And he did just pick something up from the body. But that was unfortunate. A little bit of a green on green there. Now this Green 4 force is coming down south. They might go for the Citadel instead. Which wouldn't be a bad call if they weaken that force. Green 4 regroups, hits the southern cache, and then hits the Citadel point there as well. They could just fortify the Citadel. They don't have to take everything. But especially with that pack gun firing, I'm not surprised that they're breaking away like that, because that's a really tough asset to crack at that point. So we still have two Green 4 guys back here. But otherwise, the rest are starting to move south to potentially take the Citadel. The Citadel is only down to a few guys. We have a lot of trucks that have had their tires removed and some little barricades put right here. The one thing about this is they have physics. So if you're trying to sprint around and be really quick with your movement, you might get caught on one and then immediately picked off, which makes you an easier target for a bolt-action rifle. Speaking of bolt-action rifles, Demovar, he's found an SVT-40. Now he's going to be a much bigger threat. But I think, did Green 4 see him? No, they did not. They're combing around, though. Oh, look at this game of cat and mouse. Now you're starting to see Green 4, these massive groups regrouping and pushing in. Meanwhile, I'm trying to look and see. I don't think Op4, I didn't see a commander on Op4's side. I know that Nannard and Lewis from FAWR were commanding, but it might have been Demovar and Bluck commanding for the Op4 side, since they're the Zulu group up top. It's hard to tell. But with this really tall grass, the fog of war is just really, really tough here. But Green 4, I mean, they can mount up in this truck and drive in. But with that engine turning on, that's going to alert Demovar, and he might be able to go in and get some pretty easy shots there. Meanwhile, these two guys folding back, these three Op4 guys coming back around, though. Let's look at this real quick. And you're still hearing that pack gun just firing into the groups here. A little bit of deflated cover to work. We just heard some gunfire there. Demovar was able to get one kill. He's trying to challenge his submachine gunner. Oh, bolt action round just missed. He comes around. Demovar's picked up the gun. He gets the hit with the... So he killed that submachine gunner. He took the gun. They're checking on his body real quick. He's not down, though. They need to go back and double tap him, because Demovar could wake back up, and with that submachine gun and these two Green 4 guys close together, he could recover. Now, again, it's unlikely he's going to wake up because it was a bolt-action rifle round, which are pretty big calibers. But if it was only like an arm or a leg shot, it's possible. But actually, something I didn't consider, Demovar was already down, and he did a lot of bandaging in the past. So it actually, he's very unlikely to wake up at that point, because he's already lost a lot of blood from that. Yeah, now he's definitely not waking up. Okay. I think he's down, Chief. I think he's down. So, a few green 4 guys left up there. We're seeing some rounds going here. There's that semi-auto. Maz going in. 39. Some pretty nasty hits on Sazgil there. Another hit we just heard in the foot. They're trying to keep him suppressed because they see more movement. There's some smokes being popped. They have like a 8 or 10 second fuse. Some more being popped here. I mean, these 3 OFCRA guys, though, they could get behind this flank and do a lot of damage because Green 4's not doing any rear security, which is a massive mistake, considering how close they are to the surroundings here. Wow. That's exactly why you do not run on top of a friendly's body that just went down. That was a GL round, but it was short. And 2 more guys getting taken out. This is why you need rear security when you're in the middle of the enemy AO. Oh, this is brutal. You don't run to friendly's dead bodies immediately. You figure out why that happened first. Thankfully, we're seeing some quick thinking here by Lewis, another Lewis, who took out one of the 3 guys. You have some more flanking fire coming in, as they're really trying to limit his amount of room on that tree. Well, we see a grenade thrown and then immediate pull away. But wow. That was pretty damn brutal. Writing that one down. So some more sporadic fire here, but this force, I mean, they're down to 5, so they lost about 40% of their force there. A little around 43, 44%. One more would have been beyond 50. But this is the force that OFCRA really needs to be worried about. I mean, just look at all those numbers there. If they just do a unified push, these 3 defenders are going to easily get overwhelmed. And then it's off to the Citadel. And it looks like Green 4 is even committing their last force here, which has another half track. I would say numbers are pretty even right now, especially considering this firefight that just happened. But OFCRA is more spread out. Alright, so we have Kratz taking the 1919 A6 here. Montana sticking with the carbine. They just need to grab that truck and drive in, or they could potentially steal that pack cannon, or they could just move in on foot. This force of 5, now they're going to start getting surrounded here. Meanwhile, looking back, we have this one medic. Again, why are the medics so far in front? Granted, if someone with a submachine gun were to run in here, they could probably get a shit ton of kills before they were eventually picked apart. And those types of sacrifice plays are pretty good in PvP 1 life scenarios, because as long as you're whittling down their numbers more than they are of yours, you're bound to come out on top. Alright, we officially entered mid-game about a little under 9 minutes ago. But I think this mission's going to be settled by once we start seeing late game in the next 25 minutes, give or take. Simply because we're going to see this unified force hit the cache. We need to see how much damage these 3 guys do. And then how brutal the fight for the Citadel is. And what happens to this Green 4 force here. And what happens to this 2-man force. They're going to play guerrilla war against the force that's already fortified that northern point. So I don't think this is going to work too well. But this force, they've got a few sharks around them. And they're even pushing in the open. Licardo, I mean, he was the one that got 4 of those pickoffs. Immediately puts more rounds out. Charging in the open. Very aggressive here. Did... I can't make this shit up. That was a great grenade throw by NASA. Wow, right on top of him. But I can't make this shit up. Oh, it was beautiful. NASA cleaning house. Amazing. Absolutely amazing. Rifle grenade. Wow. Grenade thrown right here, knocking out a lot of people. This is what I was talking about. If they were able to get close and do something like this, that is one person knocked out, one person dead, a lot of people wounded. This group completely broken apart. Infantry now looking through the rice fields trying to find him. He only has a bolt action, but that is the proper play he needed to make right there. 50 cal now suppressing him. White here going to be running between these lines. If he can continue to do stuff like that, he's going to get behind these French players right here. He didn't see him, though, because the rice paddy was a little too thick. Seen some suppression going back and forth right here. Oh, he runs right in, shoots him in the back, shoots the second one in the back. Now he's taking suppressive fire, weaves around. I think, Jonathan just killed his friend. What is up for with this turnaround? This is amazing. I thought the French had a chance here, but now they're just getting cut down left and right. You know, it's like the first Indochina War. I felt like the guys with the technological superiority would win, but damn. What is this coming to? Oh, man. So this force is going to stick put. The group in front got cut down. I don't even know how to word this anymore. This is incredible. So this two-man force has bypassed that northern group. They might try to go for some some Citadel harassment. While we have this little bit of a lull, let's look at kill counts. Demovar on 1, Block on 1, Kilo on none, Cheeseburger on 4. He has an enemy bar with him, a Browning automatic rifle. No kills there. Despo on 1. Now you gotta remember, there's been a lot of friendly fire too. Carnigan, we just saw get those 3 kills. 1 with a grenade, 2 by running in behind 2 people. NASA on those 2, 1 with a grenade. He's also taking a submachine gun. A lot of the guys that have been stuck on a defense duty all day. Bartek on 3, great marksmanship with that bolt action. You got command elements on none because they've been staying on the far line. Ethan, FAWR Allen got 1. Lewis got 1. Pogo underscore on 5 total. I mean, that's the biggest I've seen. Shkuda on -2. Good God. TK Llama on 1. Jonathan on the -1, we saw him do that. Rizbo on 2. You gotta remember, some people have disconnected. Settler on 2. Damix on none. Kratz on 1. Shadow was on 2. That's it. So, I mean, the highest kill count has been the Green Force so far, but hasn't been enough. And now we're seeing more Op4 guys getting in the rice paddy here. There was another one with him. It was Ivno. He's running back, maybe requesting reinforcements. But I mean, this is also a really good overwatch position of the cache itself. So if they just hold that one spot, they might be fine. Otherwise, you've got the half track now pushing up. You've got a single player right here, TK Llama, with that machine gun. You're not going to be able to hear shit with that half track going on. Is that an SVT? Yep. Semi-auto versus that machine gun there. He's lucky that barrel isn't being shown because that little bit of extra rice paddy in the way is covering it. This one, bush there. But yeah, if he pointed a little more to the left while this guy was there to watch, he'd probably be dead. So even though coming back south. I think Green 4 is just trying to figure out what to do now as Op 4 is starting to make some new moves. Mark might be coming around to flank that half track here. I mean, he's got a lot of room to potentially do it, too. Ooh, look at this. 1919A6 firing first. M1 carbine gunner goes down after hitting the other guy. It's a stolen bar. Cheeseburger on 5 kills now. He's definitely throwing a lot of grenades he's been looting. NASA going down. We're seeing Op 4 sending more forces down. Starting to send reinforcements. And Cheeseburger is taken out because the 1919A6 gunner found an angle. Kratz on his second kill. Technically third if he gets that medic knocked out. We're seeing some fire coming from over here. Some long range shots. No one I don't see with a scope, so it's just some sporadic fire. Mark looks like he pushed back. Kerrigan throwing some grenades idly around. Smokes. So that smoke noise immediately gets this guy's attention. Kerrigan, I just realized, bleeding a little bit. But Green 4 just getting their butts kicked in this rice paddy. Another half track coming in the town. Mark spotted and immediately cut down by that 50. I don't know what his plan was. I guess he just couldn't see it because of the tall grass and shrubbery was in a way, but that's unfortunate. Oh no, that was that was Kerrigan. My bad. Mark pulled back, and Ivno's now down there. That's weird. I guess that makes sense. I thought Mark was still down there trying to find an angle on that 50 cal. Ivno now taking some heavy sporadic fire, and he's down. So Green 4 bouncing back a little bit, taking out some of these stragglers. More grenades being thrown in. You've got this group right here now on this Overwatch position engaging. They've got an SVT-40, a PPSH with drum mags, and another PPSH with drum mags. So this is the Papa element, what's left of this group right here. Some more 50 cal fire going in. Almost hitting TK Llama. They aren't quite worried about that, but I mean, this is the last Green 4 force here. It looks like these two went down and NASA was knocked out. They might be able to save him because they're both medics. So they are working on him. All right. Very slow. Now, it's just a matter of can Green 4, with this remaining force, sweep south to north here? Because numbers-wise, Op 4 only has a slight number advantage, if that at all. Well, I mean, let's actually do a... Well, no. Let's wait till this offensive stops, and there's another lull in the combat. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 14, 15 green 4 remaining. To Op 4's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 15 to 20. Driver was just knocked out. What a keyhole there. So green 4 have everyone together, but Op 4 has a higher amount of players down, but they're spread out across multiple areas. Line suppression here as Op 4 is pulling back. They're going to eventually have to concede that cache. But yeah, green 4 is going to have to push their forces north to flank that position, because otherwise they're going to get stuck in the low ground. Ooh, great headshot there, and his body literally falls back. Oh. Sarda quickly trying to do medical. That was a great keyhole shot by Despo with that SVT. It's wonderful. Green 4 down to about 13 effective now. But just the inability to push on a different angle is really costing them here. Op 4, you know, they've got some really good defensive positions. Might see some more shots to finish off that knocked over guy, who does wake back up and immediately tries to pull away. Good call, 14 effective. TK Llama coming close to where Mark is. Mark's gun starting to push out of the elephant grass. Both of them skirmishing. TK Llama doesn't take any hits. The 50 count out, blindly firing. Mark took a few hits there. He's forced to bandage. More suppressive fire going in. But this just shows how green 4's really disorganized. They've been constantly firing in crossfires that have killed off friendly forces, and it's just messy. What are you doing in the helicopter, sir? Is he just gonna hide in there, wait till green 4 comes? Yeah, so he's just chilling in it because it's a medical chopper, and then he's gonna get out and kill people. That's so funny. Hi, boo. The washer's probably ready by now. Get out of here. Don't you, what are you doing, step chopper me? Get to the laundry. Woman. Bloodwing, ladies and gentlemen. Alright, TK Llama trying to find Mark. Might have just seen him if you watch that angle. Again, that white is much easier to see than that green. You got a big fat trench right here. Is Mark going to try to make a move to be offensive? Oh, did Mark just see him? Yes, he did. Gets the kill. You got an easy confirmation because the elephant grass knocks over. Green 4 down to 13, and they're charging. We need to see some green 4 up here, getting on these rocks and start engaging these guys on the side. That's a scope semi-automatic Maz 39, all right. They can start picking people off, that's what they need to do. Gotta be careful though, because Op 4, they are starting to send one guy up the flank. Oh, this 50 cal's bait. This shows they don't know where they're coming from. He's taking fire, and he is killed off. Yeah, so the fact that 50 cal is looking north means they have no idea where Op 4 is right now. They're starting to get a clue, but it's a mess. Who? SVT versus bolt action. Bolt action missed. SVD cleans it up. Got Mark now coming around. Still with that SVT. He's gonna potentially spot this one guy, takes him out. Mark's gonna be the hero here. 50 cal firing from the rear and gets a lucky knockout. This blind suppression, man, has been brutal. Double tap. Double tap. There it is. Green 4's numbers are really low. What, boo? Alright, Green Force taking a pretty heavy amount of casualties here. And otherwise, I just don't see how Green Force can recover here. Trying to watch this from a bird's eye view, but I just don't see Green Force staying too congealed here. I just don't see it. Wow. There goes the gunner for that, Vic. Just some great SVT marksmanship up here. Some explosives going on the cache. That's the first cache destroyed. Though it was a little in front, but the building's down. Not sure if that'll be counted, but even then, that's 4 points and 2 points. But otherwise, I mean, just with the sheer amount of forces here, I don't know. Quick reload right there. Yeah, just now we're finally starting to see the 50 cal suppressing where they should have been this entire time. Up for immediately going prone, because I think that 50 cal can actually penetrate through this small little building. You're starting to see it. Yep, round's going through. Top 4 has no choice but to stay low. Now they're running through. Yeah. I mean, just what started as a grenade throw that completely threw this element off is now just constantly working against the French forces here. I don't know. I think it's over, to be honest. I mean, we're at the hour and 5 minute mark, but entering late game officially, actually. But yeah, it's pretty cut and dry, in my opinion. Oh, see, if we had the 50 cals up here suppressing before this fight began, I think it would have been a little bit better, but a little too late at this point. I can see Green 4 getting through these remaining guys, but they're really spread out right now. Again, acting as different elements. You got this 4-man group coming over here, this 3-man group, I guess a 2-man group and a 1-man group, and then this one guy on the 50. Actually, there's 2 guys on the 50 back there. You have a driver and gunner combo. But it's just Green 4's attacking in scattered chunks, and I'm not sure if it's going to be enough. All right, we just saw an SVT gunner try to get a few more kills, and he is now dead. Green 4 still trying to sweep up. I mean, late game-wise, if we see some really high-level PvP for Green 4's side, they could still win, but, I mean, OFCRA with a lot of dirty tricks in play here, it's going to be tough. More 50 cal going up. These OFCRA guys might try pulling back. Just kind of, it's one of those ops where everything's kind of slowed down because one of the sides who's, you know, clearly losing is just trying to regroup what they can, grasping at those straws. And I don't know if they are coordinating or not. I'd hope that they are, but I also know towards the end of PvP matches like these, coordination and communication usually goes out the window. 50 cal rounds going on. One of these OFCRA guys trying to pull back Caesargal. I don't see any blood splatter, though, so I think he's okay. Yeah, 3-man team assaulting this position. Let's actually look at this Citadel here. So it's got some Overwatch elements, but they're really open. Got this outer trench line, this barbed wire, which I'm not sure if you can hop it or not. Pretty rough perimeter, which only opens up to here, which they've barricaded with a trench. So unlike FNF and OFCRA, you are allowed to barricade entryways. I got OFCRA guys in the trench here. Vexen with a drum mag PPSH. As we're starting to see the tail end of this match come through. The medic's just topping off some people. Sessi, I guess he did get hit, and the medic's just giving him some blood or something. Green 4 being slow to move up. If I was Green 4 right now, okay, yep. So, I'd assume Ezio had a bolt action. I don't know why he just put 2 shots over there, maybe to empty the mag. But I'd be dropping any bolt action rifles that you have and picking up any semi-automatic submachine guns, machine guns, anything automatic at this point, or at least semi-automatic, but not bolt. Definitely not bolt at this point. Excuse me. So what are these guys doing now? They pushed up there. They decided they didn't like that approach, so they're pulling back. For what? Are they trying to go around to the north and hit the other cache site? It's a weird breakaway, but they should be going for the Citadel at this point to at least get 6 points. So that OFCRA can only get 4 points minimum from the northern cache and the possibly the supremacy bonus. There's no reason to hit that northern cache at this point. Other than maybe they think they've dealt more damage to OFCRA than they actually have, because all going to the north is going to do is get them in a fight that they're potentially not going to be able to win. Have a 50 cal tearing into this area. Not sure if he thought he saw something on this bush or if he's firing up at that tower. I think he's just blanketing this ridge line. Burb. Try and do medical, but again, that's on a body, so it's not going to be able to do much. Green 4 down to 1, 2, 3, 4. 8 players remaining. Op 4 down to 4, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So 8 to 14. But we have a group of 8 here and a group of 6 up there. But a group of 4 going there, a group of 4 going here. I just don't see it. Why are you fragging your own 50 cal back? What? Hi. Hello. Oh, we thought you were bad guys because the enemy has 50 cal Vics, right? No, that was silly. I get why, but it just shows that Green 4's comm lines are just completely broken at this point. But yeah, no, I think this 4-man group is going to go for the Northern Cache. There's no other reason it should be coming around here. Maybe they think there's more Op 4 defenses here and they're trying to bypass to still hit the Citadel, but I'm struggling to grasp at why they're trying to do that, you know? Long-range fire coming from the Northern Cache Defense Force. Shots are going very wide. Got some return fire coming in. He does have a scoped rifle, but at that range, that's a pretty difficult shot to make. Especially if Op 4 immediately folds back into cover. Minutes remaining. And Green 4, they've halted their 4 dudes right here. For what reason, I don't know. What do we got here? We got a Browning, 2 bolt actions, and a submachine gun. Yeah, I don't see it. Attacking uphill and that pack gun, which they've now set up. Oh, this is beautiful. Now they have this entire sight line locked down. Samson. God, these freaking meme names, man. I always love it when people rename themselves to fit a theme for events like these. Got that 50 now up there trying to keyhole. They immediately fold off of that gun. Good thing he got off of it, because he was right there. I mean, you just saw shots hit him. That submachine gun trying to fire back, but it's going through a tree and losing muzzle velocity. That truck getting absolutely torn to shreds. Good use of that 50. PPSH firing again, but it's going to be low. 50 cal still pushing. You got these two guys. So we have 3 different elements going out. We have a 50 cal half track on its own. We have these 2 guys pulling back, and then you got that 4-man team, which is in the same spot that that squad died earlier. I assume now they're going to at least be able to get rid of those bolt actions. For at least semi-automatics are better in terms of equipment. Because I really don't understand why he would keep the semi-automatics, excuse me, the bolt actions at this point. And now the 50 is going to come up here. Gun's turning because it wants to start engaging up this ridge. Just seeing some suppressing fire. Did they just shoot? Thought I saw their icon slash, which indicated they were firing. So they've abandoned the 50 cal, which means it's probably out of ammo, but now they're just 2 dudes pinned down. That 4-man team's starting to come up. Maybe if these guys survive for long enough, that 4-man team would come up and flank, but I'm grasping at straws here on how Green 4 can bounce back. This area is just too well fortified. There's too many open areas below it. If anything, OPFOR might burn all their ammo, you know? I don't know. That's right, though. About 16.5 minutes remaining. Explosives going off on the cache. I guess they're just trying to verify that this is going to be demoed. So a few more things went off. That should be it, hopefully. I got more stuff blowing off to cook it off. Saw some shells flying around as well. So that's 2 points on the board for Green 4, but I don't think it's going to be enough. OPFOR actually putting forces down here. They're checking bodies. I guess, yeah, to loot ammo. That's going to create a blind spot, potentially, for these 4 guys to get around. There's still a lot of guys for them to take out. Let me guess, 2 of them kept their bolt-action rifles, though. Yeah, I don't get it. But all right, let's see what they can do. Because all these guys, they've been ditching their bolt actions. We see them at 49 up there. PPSH. 1919. No, it's the Browning. And I assume the other guy picked up the 1919 A6. And over here on the left, you have a bolt action. That's because his job has just been to hold that security angle. There's the A6. But, you know, they also have ammo up here because this was their spawn point, which is clearly marked by the flag. So they've got ammo for days. So these 2 have pulled back. They're now starting to try to breach into here. They're climbing over the barbed wire. OPFOR is basically content to hold this position. They've got the Maxon turrets set up. One of them right there. The other one seems to be in parts right there. And then the other 2 guys coming around. Still have some suppressing shots. I mean, a machine gunner's paradise right here. Get in a decent position where you can overwatch all of these guys and just take them all out. And they're still being slow to maneuver up, so maybe, very big maybe here, we could still see the upset. I think he's trying to talk his buddy through on how to get through the barbed wire. Maybe because he doesn't have enhanced movement keyed in. Yeah, he's pretty much screwed if he can't crawl through this. Oh, this is going to be funny. They're going to literally poke their heads over. Oh my god, that grenade? No, there's a... There it is. That's a grenade being thrown right there. Another grenade lands. Counter grenade right there. Oh, that's funny. More grenades being thrown. Yeah, bolt action versus PPSH. Though he gets shot in the back of the head by semi-automatic Mass 39. These guys now starting to get up here. I mean, if they have explosives, they could just plant it. If they have explosives, this is huge. All they have to do is put explosives on the cache, and then they can move to the Citadel site. But I'm not sure if they have any. They're going to go for kills instead. Please sight additional targets first. Oh my god, you didn't even get the hit on him. Kill him. Kill him. There we go. Oh, and there goes his body. Grenades being thrown all around here. Op4 guy came around. He was taken out. Had a trade of one of the green 4 guys, though. More grenades being thrown. I think they lack the explosives to take the cache, in which case, why did you even come up here to blow up a cache? If you had the explosives, yes, by all means, plant them and then get away. I didn't even think about that. But they didn't even have the explosives to do it. What are you... I give up. I give up. Just... Hello! What are you doing here? The other guy's dead. It's... Yeah. That's all I gotta say is just... Oh, I got excited because I was writing down that timestamp. That was just something blowing up in here. I was like, okay, maybe they did have explosives. But again, why would you go up here if you don't have anything to do with the actual objective when you could have gone to... I really want to know why. I hope one of them DMs me and gives me the explanation, because I just want to know. Like, what the thinking was behind it. All right, you got one Mass 39 gunner in here. You've got 6 people. They have to kill quite a few. They still have the time to do it, about 10 and a half minutes. 2 more guys on the outside. Maybe these 2 could flank around, but I think they're going to go back in and try to get a few more kills here. They got the A6 and a bolt action. I would love to see Barrows do a one-man war here. He's on 2 kills. Did he just pick one off, or did he miss? I think he was firing through that window. Yeah, Op4 is going to immediately go down to camping buildings here. Not surprised. I mean, they're in the defensive war part now. Now you've got Op4 sending forces down. Oh, look, a MAT 49 just killed the A6 gunner. Bolt action guy didn't even notice, apparently. Huh. Here's gunfire. I wonder who that's for. Hey, why is my battle buddy slumped over? Interesting. Hey, look, he went up to where his friend died, and he got killed. Why does that keep happening? Why? It's like the 3rd or 4th time that's happened this round. I don't get it. All right. You could still see a green 4 victory if these guys are able to kill everyone here. Just remember, unconscious people in the zone do count to the value on the zone itself. So to get it down, they need to get Op4 down to 2, which means they need to kill... Who the hell are you? What? What? I'm confused, guys. I think the server's haunted. Well, anyway, as I was saying, they need to kill, I mean, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 people in the AO, so they need to kill 5 to get OPFOR down to 2 without taking any casualties, so... Oh, it's going to be tough. I do like the rooftop use here, though. But yeah, just OPFOR is going to be chilling in a lot of buildings here, and that's going to make CQC that much more difficult. GL's being fired. At least they're all of Green 4's rocking semi-automatics. I'm hearing Maz rounds, which is throwing me off. That's just a GL round for the Grenadiers here. No! No! Stop friendly firing your own dudes! Barrows! Rifle grenade to helicopter. I think he's out of rifle grenades now. Immediately jumps off that roof. The other guy died. Last man standing. Whoa, that was a great grenade throw. He's doing his best. Getting some hits on him. What a round this has been, though. I think it was just a lot of small decisions on Green 4's side that cost it for him in the end, because it looked like they were getting the victory in the early game, but just turned around because a lot of poor choices. People running up to other people that were dead to check on them in the middle of a firefight, friendly fire, grouping forces too much and waiting around for too long to do things, I guess to reorganize and make a plan, but then not spread forces out accordingly. It's messy. Great shot by Barrows there. I mean, he could technically kill everyone in this AO and win, but... I mean, these guys might start running to the south at the, like, you know, 5-minute mark. Speaking of, it's 6 minutes. Just leave, like, 1 or 2 guys on the cache and you're fine. And he gets executed by Swola running up from the rear, and that is GG. Ooh... So that would be 8 points on OPFOR to 2 points on Green 4, technically. But that was a good round. All right. Gonna wait for the scoreboard, but I don't really have much else to say on that regard, you know? I mean, that was just a tough round for Green 4. Okay, no, they technically lost one of the caches. I guess because not everything blew up in the cache, but yeah, with 13 left, too. Ugh. Thank you so much for watching. Go operate operationally. Enjoy the rest of your day or night. Cheers, and have a good one.